The cameras flashed, the crowd froze, the internet collectively gasped. And just like that, Hollywood had a new obsession.
Yeah, and it wasn't a designer gown.
No, not a
Yeah.
scandal either. It was a chaotic, permanent scribble on the back of a billionaire's leg.
It is the ultimate plot twist in a world totally consumed by curation. I mean, when a global icon fundamentally alters her body with something this unpolished, it just sends a shockwave through the entire culture.
Welcome to Starscript Report. Join us as we uncover Hollywood drama, music industry shakeups, and viral influencer scandals. From red carpet surprises to social media controversies, we deep dive into the stories behind the fame.
We really do. And today's story is, it's a wild one.
It really is.
Yeah.
Today, we are taking your stack of sources, so articles from TMZ, Bossip, The Mirror, Bustle, and more, and unpacking the story behind Rihanna's newest, highly controversial tattoo.
Which has definitely caused a stir.
Oh, absolutely. And we'll explore how this one seemingly chaotic piece of ink acts as a roadmap to a surprisingly emotional off-carpet moment at the Met Gala.
We are looking at a masterclass in trading celebrity perfection for, messy, beautiful reality.
So let's lay out the headline story, because it's enough to make you stop scrolling immediately. According to TMZ and Parade, Rihanna just got a brand new tattoo on the back of her knee, and her toddlers designed it.
Yeah, to really understand the gravity of this, you have to look at the historical mechanics of her ink. Rihanna has been collaborating with celebrity tattoo artist Keith McCurdy, better known in the industry as Bang Bang.
Right, Bang Bang, he's a legend.
He really is. And they've worked together for over 20 years. Look, in Hollywood, a 20-year relationship of any kind is practically a century. That represents an intense foundational level of trust.
That trust is fascinating because of the power dynamics, right? Bang Bang has actually gone on record in a throwback tribute, crediting Rihanna's initial cosign for completely catapulting his career.
Oh, for sure. In the tattoo industry, an A-list cosign is everything.
Exactly. He called it a privilege to decorate her and an absolute honor to be her friend. So when she walked into his New York City shop recently, this wasn't just a pop star walking into a parlor on a whim.
Right. This is the continuation of a 2-decade artistic partnership.
Yeah.
And you would expect a partnership of that caliber to produce something highly stylized. But the art itself this time around is what absolutely broke the internet.
It really did.
So Rihanna and her partner, AAP Rocki, share 3 young children. There is RZA, who is almost 4, Riot Rose, who is 2, and Rocki Irish, who is just 8 months old.
Right, 3 under 4, basically.
Yeah, it's a busy house. And the behind-the-scenes reveal on Instagram showed the reference material Bang Bang was working from, and it was literally a piece of crinkled paper covered in toddler scribbles.
The video of this is just incredible. The inspiration paper is resting right next to her leg, and it is covered in wild, multicolored marker lines. I mean, red, brown, orange, yellow, green, purple, blue, black.
Just a complete cluster of chaotic scribbling.
Exactly. And the best detail, the paper is adorned with Paw Patrol stickers.
Oh my gosh, of course it is.
Now, the stickers thankfully didn't make the final cut, but the final tattoo on her leg is an exact, meticulous replica of those wild scribbles. Just, executed entirely in black ink.
From a purely mechanical standpoint, tattooing chaotic scribbles is actually incredibly difficult.
Wait, really? Because it just looks like, well, a mess.
Yeah, I know it does, but when a tattoo artist creates a traditional piece, say a geometric pattern or a portrait, they are relying on logic, shading, and predictable lines. Toddler scribbles have zero logic.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Right. A marker bleeds into paper with varying pressure, creating thick and thin streaks indiscriminately. To replicate that bleed using a tattoo needle, like packing black pigment into the dermis to make it look exactly like a spontaneous marker stroke, it requires immense technical skill.
Wow, so Bang Bang had to carefully engineer absolute chaos.
Exactly.
And there is this hilarious juxtaposition happening in the room while this highly technical chaos is being engineered.
Oh, the ear piercing.
Yes. Bossip reported that while she was at the shop getting this massive leg piece done, she decided to also get a simple ear piercing.
As one does.
Right. And there's a video of her sitting there wearing an oversized hoodie and dark sunglasses, wincing in absolute dramatic agony over the ear piercing. She actually jokes out loud that the piercing was worse than the contractions she endured delivering her babies.
It perfectly highlights her duality. She has this incredibly high tolerance for the prolonged, grinding pain of a heavy blackwork leg tattoo, but the quick pinch of a little ear piercing is what takes her out entirely.
It's so relatable. But look, I have to play devil's advocate here for a second.
Okay, go for it.
We are talking about an A-list billionaire whose entire empire, from her music to Fenty Beauty, is built on incredibly calculated imagery. Are we supposed to believe this tattoo is just spontaneous maternal joy?
You think it's a PR move?
Well, isn't messy authenticity just the newest aesthetic trend in Hollywood right now? It feels like a very calculated way of telling the public, look how relatable I am. I mean, if her kids are 3 and under, and one is literally an 8-month-old baby, did they really design this?
That's a fair point.
Or is this just taking the macaroni art from your fridge and hanging it in the Louvre, except the Louvre is your leg, permanently?
That is a phenomenal question, and I completely understand the skepticism. If we were looking at this in a vacuum, you could absolutely argue it's a calculated PR rebrand.
Right.
But when you look at the developmental psychology of toddlers, the concept of designing takes on a completely different meaning. Children that young don't design with intent.
Right. They're just swinging a marker around.
Exactly. They create pure, unfiltered kinetic movement on a page. They're just existing in space. For a mother, that kinetic energy is art. Children at that age change by the week, you know?
Yeah, they grow up so fast.
Their motor skills refine, they start drawing actual shapes, and that phase of pure chaos vanishes forever. By taking this completely unedited, unrefined moment of their early childhood and permanently inking it onto her body, she is freezing a fleeting era.
That's actually really profound.
It's a massive rejection of curation. She isn't asking her toddlers to draw a perfect house or a sun to make it aesthetically pleasing. She is accepting exactly who they are in this exact moment.
It really is a sweet, deeply maternal sentiment when you view it through that lens, but
Yeah.
the internet's reaction was anything but sweet.
Oh, it was brutal.
It really was. And wait till you hear the specifics of what fans had to say about it.
The public square is famously unforgiving, especially when a global icon deviates from the script of aesthetic perfection that the public feels they own.
Unforgiving is putting it mildly. According to the Mirror US, the fan backlash was absolutely ruthless. We're talking genuine shock, confusion, and outrage.
What were they saying?
Fans were flooding the comments saying things like, "Tell me you're lying, and is this real?" One person explicitly said, "It ended up looking like a road rash from a motorcycle crash."
Wow. That is a visceral, highly reactive critique.
Yeah, and it gets more personal. Another fan literally critiqued her parenting timeline, leaving a comment that she should have waited till the kids was old enough to draw at least a little house, tree, and a sun.
Oh, wow.
So people aren't just critiquing the visual art, they're critiquing her autonomy and her timeline for modifying her own body.
To understand why the public reacted with such vitriol, we have to look at the psychology of parasocial relationships.
Like the fake relationships we have with celebrities.
Exactly, and it comes down to evolutionary biology. When you see someone's face every day on your feed, your brain's ancient social circuitry literally cannot tell the difference between a billionaire pop star and a member of your own real-world community.
That's wild to think about.
It is. Your brain logs Rihanna as a close friend or a known entity. So when she alters her body in a way that the group didn't approve of, your brain doesn't just register it as a fashion misstep, it registers it as a betrayal of a personal relationship. Fans feel an intense subconscious ownership over her image.
It's like a brand redesign that nobody asked for. Like, if Apple suddenly changed their sleek, minimalist silver logo to a neon green Comic Sans font, consumers would revolt because they feel they own the aesthetic of the products they consume.
That is the perfect analogy.
Fans are viewing Rihanna's body as public real estate. Think about your own social media for a second. We all do this on a micro level. You curate the perfect vacation photo, you untag yourself from bad angles, you add a filter.
Right.
You're constantly curating your own canvas for the public. Now multiply that pressure by 1 billion.
And if we dig into her specific history, Rihanna's body has always been a highly curated canvas, which kind of explains the aesthetic whiplash her fans are experiencing.
She does have amazing tattoos.
Bustle put together a complete guide to her 23-plus tattoos, and they are legendary. Let's look at the mechanics of her evolution. Her very first tattoo, back in 2006, was a delicate set of music notes on her foot.
I remember that one.
Yeah, but she later had Bang Bang cover that up with a very intricate Egyptian falcon in 2012.
Oh, right.
From a tattooing perspective, covering fine lines with a massive, dense falcon requires intense, dark shading to hide the old ink without looking muddy. It was a masterful piece of art.
Then you have the iconic Egyptian goddess Isis spread beautifully across her rib cage, which was a deeply moving tribute to her late grandmother, Grandolly. It's arguably one of her most famous pieces.
She also has the collarbone tattoo, which is brilliant in its execution.
Oh, the mirror one.
Exactly. The quote says, "Never a failure, always a lesson." But she uniquely had Bang Bang tattoo it completely backwards.
I love that.
Right. It wasn't meant for the cameras. It was an internal mantra made physical, designed strictly so she can read it to herself when she looks in the mirror.
That's so smart.
She also has the Rebelle Fleur tattoo on her neck, translating to rebel flower, which perfectly reflects her dual nature. And we can't forget the Thug Life tribute to Tupac Shakur on her knuckles, done entirely in white ink.
White ink tattoos were incredibly trend-setting at the time, but they are notorious for how they heal. Right.
Exactly. White pigment molecules are larger and sit differently under the dermis. They tend to fade, blur, or even yellow slightly with sun exposure.
Oh, interesting.
By choosing white ink for something as bold as Thug Life, she was making a highly deliberate, almost ghost-like artistic statement that she knew would change over time. She has always understood the mechanics of her body art.
So she has historically used her body to make these very deliberate, flawless, artistic statements. But aren't the fans missing the fundamental point of art here?
What do you mean?
Well, they're acting like art critics judging a masterpiece at a museum. Shouldn't a tattoo be deeply personal rather than just aesthetically pleasing for the masses?
What you're touching on is the exact shift happening in Rihanna herself.
Yeah.
She has evolved out of that era of highly curated pop star symbolism. She knows her fans expect Sanskrit prayers, Roman numerals, and perfectly shaded Egyptian goddesses. But by choosing this tattoo, she's essentially signaling to the world that she doesn't care about the public aesthetic anymore.
She's just done playing that game.
Exactly. She is transitioning into the unfiltered, messy reality of motherhood. She doesn't exist to look perfect for her fans. She exists to be a mother to her children. It is a radical act of self-ownership.
Wow.
She is looking at the public and saying, "This is my body, these are my babies, and this chaotic scribble means more to me than your comfort."
And this refusal to be a public canvas didn't just stop at the tattoo parlor. If her leg was a private rebellion, what she did a few weeks later was a public one, right in the middle of the most heavily surveilled, heavily curated room on the planet.
And we are, of course, talking about the Met Gala.
We
It is the absolute pinnacle of the curated celebrity image. It is the one night of the year where the stakes are astronomical and everyone is expected to be a flawless, untouchable, walking piece of art.
And Rihanna, of course, delivered the fashion. According to the Mirror and the Gregorio, she attended the 2026 Met Gala with AAP Rocki, wearing this incredible Maison Margiela artisanal gown designed by John Galliano.
Just stunning.
Yeah, and the environment on those steps is pure chaos. You have flashing lights, screaming photographers, publicists managing every micro-interaction, and the sheer sensory overload of the biggest fashion night of the year.
It's completely overwhelming.
But during all of this, she actually had a highly relatable viral moment on the carpet where she narrowly avoided a wardrobe malfunction. She literally told someone to check her butt to make sure everything was in place.
Which instantly breaks the fourth wall of that untouchable celebrity perfection. She brings a grounding humor to a highly rigid, stressful environment.
But the fashion and the jokes were just the setup, because her defining moment of the entire night happened completely off the carpet in an unscripted interaction with Today co-host Chanel Jones.
This interaction exposes the underlying mechanics of how celebrities interact with the media. Usually, the red carpet is a strictly transactional machine.
Very transactional, yeah?
The journalist asks a pre-approved question about the designer of the dress. The celebrity gives a rehearsed, bite-sized answer, and they immediately move down the line. It is a conveyor belt of aesthetic validation.
Take, as Chanel Jones accurately described the industry. But Rihanna completely reversed that dynamic.
She really did.
Instead of just answering questions about her Margiela gown and playing the game, she stopped, looked directly at the journalist, and asked, "So what was your day like today?"
It sounds like such a mundane, simple question.
Yeah.
But in the middle of the Met Gala, where everyone is hyper-focused on themselves and their brand, extending that kind of genuine curiosity to the person holding the microphone is incredibly disruptive.
And it was exactly what Chanel Jones needed in that exact moment. The griot really highlights the emotional weight of this interaction.
Oh, her background story.
Yeah. Jones has been carrying an unimaginable amount of grief over the past year. She lost both her husband and her grandmother.
That is just heartbreaking.
It is. Imagine having to perform on national television, standing on the most glamorous red carpet in the world, while carrying that kind of profound, heavy loss. She was likely just hoping to make eye contact and get a standard soundbite. Instead, Rihanna gave her a moment of raw humanity.
Rihanna didn't just ask about her day. She paused the entire machine to affirm her existence.
The quote from Rihanna is breathtaking. She looks at Jones and says, "You deserve to be poured into. You're a black journalist, and I respect you. I love you for this. And by the way, your outfit is fucking fire."
It is a profound act of empathy. In a space entirely dedicated to surface-level aesthetics and status, Rihanna pierced right through the facade to see the human being standing in front of her.
It's the physical manifestation of her collarbone tattoo.
Oh, that's a great point.
Right. The one written backwards to reflect back to herself. Only here, she took the massive, blinding spotlight aimed at her and reflected it entirely onto a grieving journalist. Are we so starved for genuine human connection in Hollywood that a simple "how was your day" becomes a defining moment of the biggest fashion event of the year?
The reality is, yes, we are. And that is why this moment resonated so deeply across the internet. If we look at the trajectory we've mapped out today, this interaction perfectly encapsulates her rebel fleur nature.
The rebel and the flower.
Exactly. She is demonstrating incredible strength. She's strong enough to command the Met Gala steps in Margiela, and strong enough to completely shrug off millions of internet trolls critiquing her parenting and her body art.
Yeah.
Yet simultaneously, she is incredibly vulnerable.
The rebel and the flower operating at the exact same time.
Yeah, whether she is immortalizing her kids' chaotic scribbles in permanent black ink on her leg, or pausing the most frantic fashion event of the year to care for a stranger's emotional state, she is actively redefining what it means to be a modern icon.
True influence isn't about maintaining a flawless facade anymore. It's about having the radical confidence to be utterly yourself and the empathy to actually see the people around you.
It really makes you rethink the whole concept of celebrity.
It does. We started this deep dive looking at a controversial tattoo, a simple, chaotic scribble that millions of fans called a mess. But when you unpack the mechanics and the psychology behind it, that scribble reveals a much deeper story about an artist trading celebrity perfection for messy, beautiful, human reality.
It serves as a powerful reminder that behind the billion-dollar beauty brands, the chart-topping hits, and the iconic red carpet looks, there is simply a mother who cherishes her toddler's messy art and a woman who recognizes a grieving soul in a crowded room.
It really is beautiful when you pull back the layers and look at the humanity underneath. And hey, if you are loving these Hollywood twists and unpacking the deeper psychological meanings behind the headlines, make sure you are subscribed to us.
Oh, definitely hit subscribe. We've got even crazier stories ahead.
There is always more beneath the surface.
Always.
So we want to leave you with something to think about. You are the third person in this conversation sitting here with us. Think about your own life, your own carefully curated canvas.
What's your scribble?
Exactly. If you had to permanently ink one unfiltered, unedited scribble from your daily life onto yourself for the whole world to judge, what would it be? Would you have the courage to wear it?
That is a fascinating question worth carrying with you today.
You've been listening to Starscope Report, where we uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture. Thanks for tuning into this deep dive, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.